then this other article I found, the guy was talking about how the BRICS have their own types of issues within themselves because of religion and all of that. So it's not as rainbows and unicorns. They have their own hurdles to
I'd like to
cross.
talk
With
about that too,
yeah,
but before
that
I
was a
do,
very interesting
well,
article.
look, when you talk about the BRICS, the difference between what people don't understand about the BRICS, sure, they do have their own hurdles to get over. I would argue that their enemy's enemy is their friend, that dealing with these hurdles is something that they would probably find less of a hurdle than it would be dealing with the West. And
Sure. Yeah.
I think that it's important to understand that when you look at the BRICS, these countries are doing things in a cooperative manner. There is no, um, they do not have a, am I trying to say? They are not bound to any rules. They are together out of cooperation. They are not. They are
That's a
doing
good
so
point.
specific, and so they're not. They are not bound to rules and regulations. They are doing it in a cooperative
Yeah,
fashion, and
they're applying. It's not like they're forced to. Yeah, they're coming out and saying we want to join this. So it's more of like a that makes sense.
and it's important to understand that. But they don't have obligations to one another, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All of the cooperation is voluntary. And
Yeah.
so when you realize that this is a cooperative endeavor where the presidency rotates every year, it was in South Africa last year, it's in Russia this year. It is a if you look at the way they're striking deals around the world, building infrastructure and whatnot in a cooperative manner, I mean, that's the way all business and trade should be. Like even little kids on the playground trading crackers for cookies, you know. If I have something you want and you have something I want, then we trade. And that's what it is. And when you talk about the role of money in all of this, money is just used if I don't want what you have, I'll buy it with money. So, but when you talk about cooperation, these countries all have the natural resources, and so they are trading with one another and with cooperation. Some of the countries, all of the 30 countries that have formally applied, if you look at what they have inside every single one of these countries that have formally applied recently are massively natural resource rich, every single one of them. And a lot of them, the common denominator is that they haven't really been able to industrialize these these natural resources. So China comes in, and the BRICS nations come in, and they help them. The BRICS New Development Bank, and they help them develop their infrastructure and their natural resources, and then they build channels to help them get them out. Let me just read a couple of them real quick. I know you want to get to these questions, but
No,
all
no,
right.
this
So,
is yeah.
Afghanistan, these are the countries that have formally applied. They're rich in resources like copper, oil, natural gas, uranium, coal, iron ore, rare earths, lithium, chromium, blah, blah, blah. Algeria has the 10th largest proven natural gas reserves globally, is the world's sixth largest gas exporter, and has the world's third largest untapped shale gas resource. Bangladesh, one of the world's top 5 fastest growing economies, and shares a 4,100-kilometer border with India. Bolivia, very rich in minerals, including tin, silver, lithium, and copper. China has also invested considerable sums of money into the country via the Belt Road Initiative, including neighboring Peru, with ports specifically built to handle future Bolivian exports. Cuba, an active member of the Belt Road. Cuba shares close cooperation in infrastructure, technology, science, tourism, and energy. Ecuador, negotiating free trade agreements with China and Eurasian Economic Union. Indonesia has abundant natural resources. Primary industries are fishing, petroleum, timber, paper products, cotton, cloth, petroleum, natural gas, bauxite, coal, and tin. Its main agricultural products are rice, coconut, soybeans, bananas, coffee, tea, palm, rubber, sugarcane. Kazakhstan economy is highly dependent on oil and related products. It's in addition, its main export commodities include natural gas, ferrous metals, copper, aluminum, zinc, and uranium. Mongolia, resource rich and transit point between Russia, Kazakhstan, and China. Nicaragua, the leading gold producing country in Central America. Nigeria, is a nation that has the world's 9th largest gas reserves and significant oil reserves. Pakistan is already a member of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, holds a key position within the Belt Road Initiative. It's ultimately intended to link Western China to the Persian Gulf and includes the Gwadar port on the Arabian Sea. Senegal, with reserves in oil and gas and gold, the energy industry is at a growth stage and reserves have only recently been found. The BRICS nations will be keen to secure its supplies. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's Hambantota and Colombo ports are considered as epicenters of China's Belt Road Initiative in South Asia. They can be used as a regional maritime hub between South Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Middle East, and East Africa. This in turn gives additional import connectivity routes via the international north-south transportation corridor from Pakistan's Gwadar or Iran's Shabanar port through Central Asia, on and on and on. Sudan, top five export markets are 100% BRICS, China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, India, and the UAE. If they join, it would give complete control of the Red Sea routes. So Sudan was one of those. It gives complete control of the Red Sea if they join. Sudan is the African continent's 3rd largest gold producer. There's 30. No, these are the top 20. So there's 4 more. Thailand, it's in the ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. So they're just natural to fit in there. Turkey, again, Turkey asked to be part of the European Union and they turned them down. So now they're joining the BRICS. Uruguay, I don't know what they have. I didn't write that down, but Uzbekistan, 80 tons of gold annually, 7th in the world, 10th in the world copper deposits. What else does it say there? It says national ranks 11th in the world in natural gas, 7th in the world globally in uranium, significant untapped resources of oil and gas, and then Venezuela, number 20, the world's largest known oil reserve. So when you talk about all the countries that are joining BRICS, this is a massive deal that is coming in October. There's 30, that was 20. There's another 10 that have formally applied and another 20 or more that have informally applied. So yeah, this is crazy.
This came out 4 hours ago. South Africa says 5 countries confirmed they're joining BRICS. January 31st, 2024. Literally 4 hours ago.
Well, you know why they're saying that? Because Saudi Arabia was the one that had not fully committed yet.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have is huge. It's huge. And that's why I like the term logarithmic decay. Little by little by little, these
5 out of the 6 that have confirmed: Saudi Arabia, UAE, Ethiopia, Iran, and Egypt. Argentina is written to indicate they will. Yeah. Oh, that's what I want to mention. Argentina declined. I thought
right.
that was
that's their new president. And okay, fine. So take Argentina out. That's okay. The ones that have, and Argentina would have been a good example, they with their natural reserves, but also they control the Straits of Magellan. So the common denominator between all of these countries is their trade routes and their natural resources. So they're doing things cooperatively and not coercively. And that's a big difference. And that's why this is a different organization than the world who suffers from recency bias understands.